Hey, what's going on, everybody? Max here with BB, and today for 10 Minutes Max, we're going to be talking about ETH Beta, some of our favorites, some of our favorite things to talk about and invest in, and really kind of the backbone of my portfolio personally. Before we get into it, guys, do me a solid. Please hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel if you are new here. And stick around because I'm going to be showing you guys our new product, using it in the video, called the BB Terminal, which is severely discounted right now as we are in beta. But let's not waste any more time. Let's dive into the charts, guys. So Andy is having a fantastic day today. Fantastic day today. This is the daily time frame. We are up tremendously today, right? We are up from this low to the high of the day, 76% in just about a day and a half. The term beach ball underwater is probably the appropriate term to use, right? And here we are, right? Right now, the way that I'm viewing Andy is more or less the same as what we were doing over here in May before the last expansion, where you pulled back from then your all-time high, it was around 150 million, and you basically entered this really prolonged consolidation. Everybody was frustrated. They were getting bored of the price action. And then things turned around pretty quickly right when ETH sort of found and confirmed its bottom. So let's just quickly pull up ETH here. We'll put candles on for ETH. This is ETH down here at the bottom, and this is Andy, which is Premier ETH Beta, right? Part of the Boys Club narrative. It's from the same comic series that Pepe originates from. Again, Matt Fury's Boys Club. Andy is just going to be a similar trade and a beta to Pepe. What does that mean? Well, Andy's younger and it's smaller market cap, and it's got that same meme coin narrative that Pepe has. So, it's going to move just as much, if not more, than Pepe. But of course, more volatility works both ways. It will pull back harder. It will pump harder, right? But what happened over here? ETH marked up, confirmed its bottom, and then Andy basically went up from this consolidation range right here. It went up about, I think it was like 700% in a couple weeks, right? So if we want to measure to this wick, it was more. We'll just go here. Went up 700% right here in like 2 weeks. Pretty unbelievable, right? And that was off the back of, ETH really just kind of confirming, hey, I'm actually going to be breaking structure to the upside here, and everything on ETH is going to appreciate. So where are we right now? We've obviously pulled back. ETH to me looks as though it has found a bottom. And similarly to over here, I think that your level to break for ETH is going to probably be right around here. Okay, this is a more prolonged version of what we had over here, and you're starting to see ETH move up off of its low, having a nice day today. And look at what's happening immediately to ETH Beta, like Andy, right? It is beach ball underwater. ETH is up today. Let's take a look at it. ETH is up today 3%, and Andy is up over 50%. Pepe's up 7%. Wolf is up over 20%. We'll talk about those ones as well. The slightest move out of Ethereum is triggering these huge beach ball underwater explosive types of moves out of Premier ETH Beta, which is going to expand and extrapolate way out through this cycle, right? Imagine a day when ETH is up 30% or 40%. What do you think is going to happen to ETH Beta? ETH's up 3% today, and Pepe's up over 50%, right? So I'm telling you right now, you're on the brink right now with Andy of doing something like this. If you can get ETH to break market structure to the upside, right? And what I mean by that, let's just quickly look at this, is you are in a downtrend right here on ETH, right? Before the last big Andy move. You're in a downtrend, lower highs, lower lows, very shallow, higher low, and then you break structure to the upside, and now you're in an uptrend. You broke your downtrend. What do we need to do right here? ETH has been in a downtrend, right? Lower highs, lower lows. If you get ETH up here, you're going to start flying. And you could maybe even shallow it out a little bit and just say, yeah, this is your low, right? We put in, you know, we put in a little bounce here. You just need to get above that. That's fine as well. I'd be inclined to agree with you given what Andy's doing today. It's getting well out in front of ETH, right? Just as premier ETH beta typically does. Now let's take a look at Pepe as well. I wanted to start with Andy because obviously Andy is my favorite meme of this cycle. It's been one that I've been in since basically the bottom, multiple bottoms. I started buying it over here before it really blew up. And I bought some more over here in May, and I just bought a ton more down here. I was telling everybody about it on Twitter and, of course, in our Discord. But I've been supporting price as much as I possibly can. And I believe we are now starting the next ascension up. And actually, before we do that, I want to throw out this chart as well. So real quick, this is a high time frame chart of Andy. This is where I think the roadmap is for Andy. So looking at these fibs, right? I drew a range from range high over here initially to range low. And we put on our 1.618, 2.618, and 3.618. These three fibs right here on the left are attached to this first range. Look at where we topped the first time. Right at the 2.618, which just so happens to be the 1.618 of this range that we had over here on Andy, right? So from range high to range low, we put on the 1.618, which lined up perfectly with the 2.618 of this range. What a coincidence. That was the global top so far, the all-time high. Look at what we're doing right now. Range high to range low, perfectly measured. We broke out of our downtrend, perfect retest. We're exploding today. Look at where the next set of high time frame fib confluences are. The 2.618 of this last range and the current 1.618 of our existing monster range. That's at 1.3 billion. And then the next level is we've got 3.618 from our very original first range. Oops. We've got the 3.618 from our first range and the 3.618 from our second range at 5 billion. So I'm just letting you know, like these levels in a bull market will probably play. So I'm watching them very carefully. I put a little check mark next to this one. Perfect fib confluence for our current all-time high. And I expect this 1.3 billion, this fib confluence to get hit as well. All right, let's move over to Pepe. Pepe's having a nice day today. Very, very solid reaction off of this low. But I don't care as much about what Pepe is doing, right? Because what I really care about with Pepe, because it's such a large cap now, is I care more so about what Pepe ETH is doing. So we're going to take a look at that as well. You could argue that Pepe is trying to do a little breakout here. You're kind of cheating on this trend line a little bit, but it's not uncommon to have, little deviations of trend lines and stuff like that. So Pepe, either way, in my opinion, is bottom. This is your bottom reaccumulation range right here. And, I'll tell you right now, when you break structure to the upside and you get above this high, right? Because it's the same thing that we were just doing, right? Here's your high, there's your low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, potential higher low. When you shift structure and you break a multi-month downtrend, which is what this is, when you break that multi-month downtrend and you break structure to the upside, you're going to do this, and then you're going to fly to all-time highs. Okay, so this looks great, but what I'm really more encouraged by, guys, is the Pepe ETH pair, because Pepe is a multi-billion-dollar meme now. Okay, it really is like an alternative to ETH. It's extremely liquid. It's again, like I said, multi-billion-dollar meme, and it's the best ETH beta for large caps on the market. Here is a high time frame view of Pepe divided by ETH. What this pair trade is showing is when this chart is moving up, Pepe is a better hold than ETH. When it's moving down, ETH is a better hold than Pepe. Because people are swapping back and forth between Pepe and ETH because Pepe is on ETH, right? So what we're seeing right now is, literally beautiful. So this was our previous all-time high. We built this monster demand, right at the previous all-time high. Like this is price acceptance at the all-time high, right? This is demand. This is beautiful, beautiful demand, okay? And then we marked up and we flipped the top of this high time frame demand level at the previous all-time high, which is just perfect, right? Textbook. And now what we've been doing is basically like bull flagging or compressing right up here. So people could look at, Pepe. Let's pull up Pepe again right here. Pepe USD. So people could look at Pepe and be like, oh, we're kind of just, floating in no man's land. I don't know if I really like it. Well, first of all, I actually think this looks really good, right? I think this looks coiled and ready to go. But I could see why some people would draw this. They would go, oh, we broke down, we retested. This is in no man's land. This doesn't matter to me because this is what matters. You denominate a multi-billion-dollar meme asset on ETH, you denominate it in Ethereum. That's more important than the US dollar valuation. So a lot of people are going to get psyoped into being bearish on Pepe, which is, in my opinion, still going to 50 billion this cycle in market cap. They're going to get psyoped on it because of one trend line, because they're not familiar with how to properly value a multi-billion-dollar meme, which is, I mean, it's making the case, honestly, why even hold spot ETH when you can just hold Pepe. Look at this chart. It never broke structure. Like it's holding above its previous all-time high and demand region. Like that is textbook perfect. All right, let's move over and talk about Wolf. Another awesome ticker, guys. Wolf, which is again part of Matt Fury's boys club. It's another one of the characters. Wolf OX67, absolutely crushing it. They are doing something very similar to what Andy's doing right off of the low here, right? We talked about how Andy was in that, reaccumulation range. Well, Wolf is in the same one. And you could actually make the case of, drawing this as your bottom reaccumulation. And then you kind of already had your, range high retest right here. Okay, because that's textbook, right? So you're in a nice downtrend, right? Here's your high. Break of structure, there's your low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. You break market structure to the upside right here. There you go. Now you are in an uptrend, right? Now you are in an uptrend. That's just where you're going to stay. That's where you're going to stay. It is what it is. Let's go over some high time frame levels because this chart is breaking out pretty aggressively. I have a feeling that, once we get above this high right here, which we're trying to chew through right now, that's really going to be the start of the FOMO on something like Wolf because, we broke out of our local downtrend, right? But we're flirting with like a weekly time frame break of trend, right? So here's your, your downtrend, right? These are the levels. Okay, so here's your downtrend. Oops, I'll put it in red. Here's your downtrend. And you could argue right now that, this right here would be your break of trend, right? And then you would do something like this on the weekly time frame. So we're already like daily time frame trending up, but this is the most important high on the chart right here, this level. And we're chewing through it right now. So once you get past this high, I mean, you're going to see a rip like, I mean, you probably go to all-time highs a lot quicker than people even realize. But let's talk about what that would look like, right? Because we've got some similar fibs to Andy. It's trading as beta to Andy. It's trading, it's trading beautifully, right? It's respecting the levels. Team is killing it. I'm shoving money into it to support price whenever I can. But here's our high time frame fib confluence on Wolf, right? So look at where we topped first here, similar to Andy, right? You're in your downtrend initially, 1.618 and 2.618. We topped perfectly at the 2.618. I kind of view Wolf as like one cycle behind Andy, if that makes sense. So like Andy's had one more accumulation range than Wolf. Wolf is younger. So we topped perfectly at the 2.618 of this first range, and we pulled back. So here's our first big level. Look at the next big level. We have the 1.618 of our current range, which is from right here, all-time high, to global low perfectly. And we've got the mid-range mark there. It's beautiful. It's perfect. We got our 1.618 lining up with our 3.618, which is perfect. 3.618 is exactly at the 1.618 from these two different ranges. So how far would that be from right here? That would be about a 13 to 14x, depending on how you wanted to measure it. So from right here, Wolf's at about a 40 mil market cap. So I think maybe about half a billion market cap would be a nice high time frame level right here. And of course, it's got, similar properties that, that Andy has. Look at when it started pumping last time. So here's ETH, just like Andy, and look at what happened right here. ETH breaks structure to the upside. It broke its downtrend, moves up, and then Wolf went on like a 50x. This was like a couple million, and it went to like 120 million. Um, Went on like a huge heater, right? ETH marked up. So right now, I think if ETH can get above 2,600 to even 2,800, you're going to see Wolf up here in the half a billion region. You're going to see Andy at 1.3 billion roughly. You're going to see Pepe probably back at all-time highs, if not a little bit above. But Andy and Wolf are going to run harder than Pepe because Pepe has been around longer. It's a much larger market cap, but there is going to be a big closing of that gap, between these tickers. There is no question about it. I mean, let me show you the BB terminal right now, guys. So this is our new product. We've got, literally everything you could need. We've got, active trading. We've got, order book data, everything you could ever want. We've got heat maps like right up here, right? Just like basically everything that you could need or want in these markets, right? Shows you like where all the hot levels are for Bitcoin, how to trade, what to look out for. Here's a spaghetti chart. I've got some things preloaded right here just to save time, but let's just take a few off here and let's look at Andy versus let's look at Andy right now. All right. Let's look at Andy versus most of the majors right here. Moving off of this low. This is what beta is, guys, right? So right here you can see I've got ETH, Sol, Bitcoin, Pepe, and Andy, right? Andy's having a great day. We could go back a little bit further and you can see how like on drops, Andy's just like a levered play on the entire crypto asset class. Like all of these pull back. Let me even just take Andy off so you can see it. They all pull back together. They all pump together, right? And this is a spaghetti chart that you can, very easily make on the BB terminal. You can add whatever tickers you want. It's got everything on here. We could easily add something like Doge on here as well. We can choose our color. We'll make it just kind of like this orange color, right? So now we got Doge, ETH, Pepe, Sol, Bitcoin. Really easy way to compare what you should be watching, how tickers are moving all together. But then you throw something like Andy on here, right? And, Andy's just, it's just going to be hands down, much, much greater returns than all this stuff. Look at when it pumps, it just leaves everything else in the dust, right? It just leaves everything else in the dust. So, even just putting on, we'll take off Doge, take off Sol, ETH, Bitcoin. Like here's Pepe and Andy, right? Over the past week or so, they're moving together and then they both start pumping. Pepe goes up 7.5%, Andy's up 60%, right? So you can see how these tickers are moving together, even going back, we'll go back a little bit further here. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame so we can get a little bit more price history here. We will let it calculate this out for us. So you can see how the charts look like they're moving together, but Andy dips harder and then rips harder. So, in a bull market, it's hard to make the case that Andy's not going to be one of the top performing memes of this cycle. And there's data to back it up. But yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of data on here for you guys to use for BB terminal, right? Here's one of my favorites to kind of figure out like where you are within the cycle is actually Bitcoin terminal price right here. So going all the way back, we've got a nice little definition here. You guys can read it when you sign up, wink, wink. But going all the way back throughout Bitcoin's history, this indicator has basically called every single top and bottom for Bitcoin. This is on-chain data. Below these lines, at these lines, that's a good buy. Above these lines, that's the top, right? Going back to, the last few years of price action, called the 2019 bear market low, the COVID low, and then the top for Bitcoin over here in May, and then basically also November. Last cycle was kind of weird. And then look, it called the FTX capitulation. You buy in between these two lower bands. And where are we currently at for the cycle peak? You can see that here. I'll hide my camera because it's cutting it off a little bit. But you can see that the top terminal price right now is over 150K. So we've never not topped for Bitcoin for a cycle above the top line, right? So that means that we're potentially on track for Bitcoin to go even above 200K this cycle. So, we've got basically everything you could need to track these cycles, data that is tough to find and tough to compile. And we've done it here for you at Because Bitcoin. But guys, thanks so much for being here. Please like and subscribe before you guys go. We greatly appreciate your guys' support, and we are working incredibly hard here to bring you guys some of the absolute best out of anybody in crypto, right? From free content to paid content, literally everything. And again, if you want to support us and support your trading journey, check out the links in the description below, guys. And right here, you'll find this link below where you can sign up to the BB terminal, guys. It's got, again, I gave you a little sneak preview of it. Really helps me navigate markets. And, you can sign up, and there's 3 different options right here for BB terminal, right? 3 options. One, if you just want to use the terminal and then be a part of the Telegram, which gives you alerts, check this out, guys. Heavily discounted right now. It's got the spaghetti chart that I showed you. It's got all the DCA indicators that I showed you. We're currently in beta, but here's everything you're going to have very soon. I didn't even show you the portfolio tracking or anything, but it's got order execution coming soon. It's got basically like 100 more indicators rolling out over the next month. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It already is, guys. So this is a standalone BB terminal plus Telegram alerts. If you want to take your trading to the next level, consider signing up for either one of these, guys, joining the Discord. You open up a line of communication with me and the BB team 24/7. We do roughly 4 hours per day of private live content within the Discord, guys. We've got active positions channels, like I said, daily recorded voice calls, everything that you could need or want to really step your game up. It's awesome. There's not a community out there that works harder than us. So check these 2 out. They are expensive, but you will see that it works, right? You will see that if you put the time in and you hang out with us, you trade with us, you study with us, it's worth it, right? Daily content, stuff that we don't talk about on YouTube or on X, guys. And here's the truth of it too. There's a difference between free content and paid content, okay? Everybody kind of needs their pack within crypto. And I don't believe that there's anybody out there that is doing what we are doing to the degree that we are doing it here at BB. Okay. So this market is too big to watch alone. So I would highly encourage you to check out our community, right? Join us somewhere. Join us, BB Academy. Join us, BB Terminal, Telegram, Discord. Join us somewhere, right? Join us somewhere because it's important to educate yourself and surround yourself with smart, like-minded individuals. And this is a big market. You need people that you can lean on, and we are those people. So guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Like I said, please like and subscribe and check out the links in the description below, and we will see you guys next time. Take care.